You're listening to the GOON Hour, rated number 1 for worst podcasts on the internet. Thank you and enjoy.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Young Igloo, and welcome to the GOON Hour. With me, I'm joined with my cousin once again, Naekwon.
Hello, everybody. Naekwon. I have returned. GOON Hour podcast.
What do you do, Nathan?
I rap
Okay.
very well.
Nathan, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite Jim Carrey movie?
Ooh.
Favorite Jim Carrey movie, Nathan, what is it?
Kick-Ass 2.
Wrong. The Truman Show.
The Truman Show?
Do you want to know why? The Truman Show?
Oh, is that the one where he fucking dressed up like that guy, Andy Truman?
He didn't dress up as him.
And
He was him.
and he was-
Oh, you're thinking of Andy Kaufman.
No. Which one's the one where he became him?
You're thinking of Andy Kaufman. That's not the Truman Show.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Anyway, The Truman Show. Have you ever watched The Truman Show?
Mm-mm.
I guess you haven't seen The Truman Show?
Fuck no. What kind of white boy shit is that?
Bro, it's Jim Carrey.
Never seen it.
Well, the podcast is canceled, guys.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, so there's this movie called The Truman Show, right?
Okay.
It's about this guy named Truman. He's a real person, but he exists in this make-believe world that was set up by producers to trap him in this dome environment. And they filmed this reality show based around his life.
But it's like animated shit?
No, it's real life.
Okay. I'm following.
Okay. And then, later on, he finds out that he is in this television show without knowing what a television show is. So what if I told you that there's actually a real world example of the Truman Show?
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Dead serious.
Let's hear it then.
All right. This is the story of Nasubi. Nasubi is his real name. Okay, I'm going to butcher a lot of this because this takes place in Japan. But his real name is
Tomoki Hamatsu.
I think I know what you're... Okay, sorry. Yeah.
You're kind of getting a little idea.
I'm getting
maybe?
a little... I think I remember I saw a video. Is this the one? I don't know.
Okay.
Continue.
But his nickname was Nasubi.
Nasubi.
Nasubi's not a real name. Do you know what Nasubi means in Japanese?
Yeah.
It means eggplant in Japanese.
Yes, eggplant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but do you know why his nickname was eggplant?
He looked like an eggplant.
He dead ass looked like an eggplant.
For real?
His fucking head. His head.
I
looked
made
like,
that. I made that completely up. I did not mean to say that.
His head was in the
I
shape
did
of an
not.
eggplant. He has a big ass fucking head since the day he was a kid all the way up to when he
Ay,
was an adult.
pobrecito.
Yeah.
Can I see a picture of him?
Yep. Right there. That's his fucked up looking face. Anyway, Nasubi was born in Fukushima, Japan on August 3rd of 1975. So he's roughly the same age as my parents are. So that's like, today that makes him 46.
Okay.
Right? At a very young age, Nasubi was bullied because of the way he looked.
Fucking weirdo.
Yeah, he was a weirdo.
Just kidding. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Nasubi.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nasubi. We're going to be feeling sorry for him later on.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And feel free to stop me if you ever want to
Yeah.
just ask me questions about the topic, of course.
Yeah.
But later on, he decided that he was going to use his face as his greatest strength. And so he went into comedy.
Okay.
Right? So in the early 90s, he's doing comedy, but he's not really getting anywhere now. He still ended up becoming artists.
He's just like open micer type of shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the state of comedy is in Japan at this time.
Okay.
But
That is kind of weird to think about, huh? Like Japanese comedy.
mhm.
Like who the fuck is watching that shit?
But it exists, It exists mostly in Japan, I'm pretty sure, because he doesn't speak any other language besides Japanese.
Well, maybe he should learn English.
Maybe he should. Anyway,
What's the name again?
the name
Nickname.
we're going to be referring to him from here on out is Nasubi.
Nasubi. Okay.
Yeah, Nasubi. He's a very interesting character. He's a very just sporadic and just energetic type of guy.
Yeah.
He's really a good person.
Okay. Nice.
Now, he's best known for his appearance on a reality show that was around Japan during that time called Susono Denpin Shonen, which is this reality show where they challenge contestants into, they challenge contestants in various things, to win money and prizes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nasubi was one of those contestants.
All right.
Yeah. But towards the beginning of the show in July of 1998, this was 4 months before I was born, Nasubi, he was going up for an audition for a show business job. It wasn't really descriptive.
Dude, them Japanese shows are wild, low-key.
They are. Yeah, you're gonna hear about this. I got 7 pages of this stuff right here. I've been wanting to do a video about it for quite a while.
That's cool, man.
And you know, we've always wanted to do topics
Yeah,
on the show, and I think this is the
fucking-
perfect outlet to do it on.
dude, it's fucking fun. I'm
Yeah.
so excited to like hear you tell me a story. No one ever tells me stories. I'll be like talking to like girls and shit, and I'll be like, "Tell me about like your life," and they're like, "Well, what do you want?" And they're
Yeah,
like, "What do you
no.
want to know?" And I'm like, "Just tell me some shit. I don't know. Tell me about what you got going on. Tell me about your life." They don't know how to talk.
Yeah. The show Denpin Shonen was controversial due to extreme challenges that would be placed on participants in the show. The auditions for contending in these challenges were very predatory by selecting the victims. Most of them were aspiring comedians. And that's where Nasubi comes in.
Oh boy, an
So-
aspiring comedian. Now that's a desperate fucking person.
Yeah.
Musicians,
Me.
he'll suck your dick to be in a movie.
That's right.
Sammy will fucking
I'll do
compromise his integrity to get fucked.
Well, let's see if you do this next challenge.
Let's see it.
Some of these notes that I have kind of written in here are kind of sporadic. Like this one, I hark back to Nasubi and his long face. Like his face, okay, so the total length of his face was 11.8 inches.
Can you pull that up, Jamie?
Nasubi and a few other people, they're in this one particular room. They're there for a show business job. It's not descriptive at all. They don't know what they're in for. But they only have like...
So they don't even know it's a game show?
Yeah, they don't even know it's a game show. They're only there for like a show job. Like they know they're going in there for the show business because one producer, the fucking antagonist of this whole story, and I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong.
Toshon Tsuche.
Toshio.
Yeah, we'll call him Toshi.
Toshi.
Yeah, Toshi. He's this big producer in Japan who is still active to this day, working on shows. So he's like the Harvey Weinstein of Japan. But yeah. Or the Larry David of Japan.
Harvey Japstein.
Yeah. Harvey Japstein.
Dude, that's extremely wrong.
Oh my god, we're back at it again, boys.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Continue.
It's all good. Okay. So him and a few other people, they're in this room together. They don't know what's gonna happen. But they can only get one person to be on the show.
Mhm.
So they draw in a lottery, like a draw of the hat, pretty much. And Nasubi was the one to get picked. Now, immediately after he gets picked, he is carried away. He's blindfolded. He doesn't know where he's going. They take him to this apartment complex. It's like a studio apartment. There's like hardly anything in there besides like a kitchen and a toilet in just this room. They take him there. It's like sometime between... It doesn't descriptively say what time they meet at this apartment, because a lot of this is just kind of up in the air. Like there's not a whole lot discussion around this whole event, other than a documentary that came out just recently, like last year. Very good documentary if y'all want to see it. It's on Hulu. But they take him to this apartment. He removes his blindfold off, and they tell him to strip down naked.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they strip him down. Well, they didn't strip him down. He took the clothes off himself. They didn't like force him to take them off.
But they were like, do this, and he did it himself.
Yeah, it was a very cold and responsive, just like strip, and it shows in the actual episode of him getting this treatment.
Oh my god.
Inside this room, there is a rack of magazines, about 1,000 postcards, a journal, a radio, and a telephone.
He's naked the whole time.
Naked the entire time.
Oh my god.
Oh, he has also like a low table that the Japanese have for like, for sitting down. And he also has like one seat cushion. That's it. That's all there is in this small... It's smaller than this room that we're in right now. The challenge is called A Life of Prizes. Basically, can you survive off of sweepstake prizes alone? That's the whole challenge that Nasubi has to do, yeah. But Nasubi has to earn about 1 million yen's worth of prizes, which is around $8,000 back then.
Okay.
So how he gets those is with the magazines, right? And then he takes the postcards, and then he just boop, 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 just writes down the sweepstakes for the prizes, and then he sends them off in the mail. So do you have any questions so far?
But it's so then that means if he's sending them sweepstake stuff, that implies that it's taking like months.
Yeah, you're getting ahead of it now. He has to not only get food, but supplies to live off of using only the sweepstakes, and he has to earn an equivalent of $8,000 to win. Yeah, to get out.
And he can't leave at any point.
He is allowed to leave, but it's only for emergencies. You'll eventually find out later that eventually he kind of develops this psychological barrier that's keeping him prisoner in this room for months. He was gone for months doing this whole thing.
What the fuck? So like, there's no Japanese like law enforcement saying like, don't let this happen? Okay, so interesting, because back in the 90s, like, this was a new type of show that was coming out, like the reality and the extreme challenges that were just that's true.
popping up.
There was like Fear Factor and shit like that.
Yeah, but this was also in like Japan, you know, so like this was like brand new even to us Americans.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this was a brand new show that they had just conjured up, which was the reality show.
That sounds crazy.
It was.
But continue, please.
They didn't make him sign a contract either. He signed no contract. But I mean, what is he gonna do? I mean,
he wants to be in showbiz.
He wants to be in showbiz really bad, and he knows he's gonna win some money out of this whole thing. He just doesn't know how long he's gonna be stuck doing this. Because $8,000 and just crap is a long time.
Especially if you're mailing it in. I guess it was different in the 90s though, right?
Yeah, but this was really extreme, and it does get worse later on.
Oh boy,
it does. Yeah. He wasn't completely like away from supplies. Like, he was given like the bare necessities, which was heat, electricity, and water. But he didn't have food for a good while. He was given like a cracker ration every week, but that was until he won his first prize, which was like these cartons of jellies. Which, okay, I have them in the description. They're like these fiber jellies. Imagine like if Gatorade came out with those extreme like sports gels, but they make them in cartons of milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this guy got. He got like a pack of 12, and after that they cut off the cracker supply, and then he had to just fend off for the wolves, dude. But it was all good because the next prize he won, which was a couple weeks after, was a bag of rice. It was a big a big kilo bag of rice, like the one we have now. That was the second prize. And those are two very notable pieces of prizes they did get. The show that Nasubi was a part of was like just a tiny segment of a bigger show of Denpin Shonen that would be shown weekly every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't even like a big part of the show initially. But it did start getting popular really fast. Like, every weekend, people would tune in just to watch Nasubi. It's reported that the viewership would average around 17 million per night. Every Sunday. I have numbers right here that says that's more than Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad.
Oh my god.
Keep in mind, he started this in January of 11. On the 11th of January, I think, is when he started this, and then he won the bag of rice on February 22nd. So his only food was crackers and jelly for like weeks. But he didn't have a way to cook the rice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did he?
Yeah, because he didn't have pots or pans. Like, he had nothing.
Can I take my shoe off?
Yeah, go ahead. Is it stinky?
No.
Okay, good.
Never.
It better not be. He's about to fuck it later. Yeah, he didn't have any pots or pans, but he had a stove, right? He could still heat up stuff. But without utensils, it's really hard to cook rice.
Yeah, what the fuck?
But Nasubi is anything but stupid. Nasubi is a true Chad. Let me tell you what he did. He took the carton of those jellies, the empty carton, and he put rice and a little bit of warm water in it. And then he put that little carton right next to the burner of the stove. And then he would just let it sit there for like a couple hours or two. And then when he would come back, it'd be like this soupy rice consistency that would be cooked, and he could be able to eat it.
Wow.
Yeah. He did that for another few months.
That's crazy, buddy.
But Nasubi was just a fantastic character that you would always just root for. Every time he would win a prize, he would do like this little victory dance.
How was it?
It'd be something like just holding the prize like this, and just shaking it, And he's just like this. He's like this skinny, tall Japanese dude who's butt naked completely. So I mean,
that's craziness.
I don't know what the attraction was. Okay, I do get it. It's kind of entertaining, but had I known the context of what this person was going through, it's not as fun anymore as it is now. But yeah, he would make this little funny dance, and then you'd see like the little eggplant emoji that would like float around his wiener.
That's where it all. That's where the eggplant emoji started.
Yeah, there's actually like a solid theory that says that's probably where it started, because this was like 1998, so this was brand new. Dude, Nasubi was a pioneer of his time, dude. Like he did a lot of accomplishments in this one challenge alone that like we kind of just all fail to forget.
Yeah,
like he started the eggplant emoji, and later he'd be the first Let's Play live streamer.
Really?
Yeah. We'll get to that in a moment. Some of the prizes that he started winning was like a poster for a TV star that he really liked. Another was a TV with no antenna, a PlayStation train game with a controller, but he didn't have like a PlayStation to play it on. he even won a bike as well, like just a bike that he couldn't use. Actually, no, he did actually turn that into like a stationary bike and later used it for exercise. But he was getting all this shit that he couldn't use for anything other than just piling up just clutter, and would eventually go into his winnings. Yeah, the fucking TV one was a little more sad too, because it had no antenna, so he couldn't like he couldn't use the TV for anything other than just static. But he also had one like a stuffed seal that he gave a name to called Venus, which became like his Wilson in this whole scenario, because he would often talk to Venus quite a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking sad.
Because he was just alone straight up.
All the time.
Yeah.
Que pobre.
Probably one of the biggest wins that Nasubi ever gotten was a toothbrush and toothpaste.
Oh, tight.
Yeah, but he didn't get that until like month 3 into his challenge. It fucking blows that he's just not given any hygiene products at all.
Dang, so like... So did the viewers know that he was like a... like all the details that went into this show? Were they aware that he like... Or did they think it was kind of like scripted or something like that?
There were some people who did say that the show was scripted, but there were others who were just enjoying the content as it is.
Yeah.
Eventually, they will they will prove to the doubters, the haters of Nasubi later on throughout the year as it goes on.
The Nasubi haters?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's any Nasubi haters. I think everyone fucking loved Nasubi. It was just that I don't think they either knew it was fake or real. But Nasubi was a character, and he was very energetic when he would do like his bits on the show. The show that he did not know he was a part of.
Oh, he didn't know he was on his show at all?
No, they told him zero any information. So this is what they did.
What the fuck? This whole time I think. So, but he doesn't know he's on like live television.
He doesn't know.
He thinks, but he went for like a casting type shit.
He went for a show business job, but he wasn't sure what the job was going to be. They didn't tell him that. But what they had done was they put a camera in here, and they just kind of told him straight up. It was like, hey, we're going to record all this footage and shoot and edit it later. You done?
Hold on. Sorry.
Bitch. Anyway.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. They shot all the footage. That's what they told him, that we were going to shoot all this footage and collect it, and then we're going to cut everything up and then publish it later.
Shit.
Nasubi had no idea that every week his entire life was being documented and shipped out to broadcast. That's why they took the antenna away from his TV. Was because the producers didn't want him to find out that he was on television.
Dude, this is shady.
Super shady.
As fuck.
Like, unimaginable. Like, this would not happen in America.
Never.
But it happened in Japan. This happened months before the Truman Show ever came out. The Truman Show is pretty much like a reflection of this guy's life.
Oh my god. Sorry, continue.
No, it's all good. I like that.
That's wild as fuck, dude.
He never won any clothes. He never won a single pair of clothes.
Yeah.
He won like a pair of used ladies' underpants that he did try on, and everyone had to see that.
Oh my god.
And he did wear a pair, and he did also win a pair of shoes.
Those are two very useless things in that situation.
Yeah, no, he couldn't do anything with them.
Give the guy some short pants or something. Full fuck.
Yeah. Finally, on May, 5 months after the challenge started, a doctor comes in to inspect Nasubi. A knock on the door came in. The doctor came in and gave him a full checkup. You want to know what the doctor said?
What?
He was healthy.
Really?
That's what the doctor said.
Okay.
But the doctor gave him a clean bill of health, which I find kind of suspicious.
Yeah, there's no way that fool has to be malnourished or
super malnourished. And also, even if he was okay, that still doesn't really excuse like the psychological problems that was happening to Nasubi.
He's just like, he's good.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah. And it was also on television too. So there's like big word title graphics popping up. I was like, he's good. But like in a super like charismatic, just Japanese, like sounding like, something fucked up in Japanese.
Fucking, yeah.
Yeah.
A little animal character on the side, all weird.
That being said, Nasubi wasn't completely cut off from people.
Okay.
But it was rare and sporadic. He would only talk to people who were coming through the door with prizes. And of course, that one time with the doctor visits, right? But yeah, eventually his isolation did start getting terribly bad where he would constantly, just talk to Venus here and there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And everyone's seeing this.
Everyone's seeing this. What people see, they see like 7 months of the good parts of Nasubi where he wins prizes and acts like a goofball. But then you're missing like the other 80% of it, which is he's completely just miserable. He's writing in his diary and he's doing submissions too. Like again, he's going through the challenges like a boss, going into magazines and then writing like 300 submissions every day. So he's on the grind set for real.
So wait, so this fool just fucking had rice for this whole time?
Yeah, pretty much.
You never got any other food other than the rice and the protein
He's
jelly?
gone other foods. Like he's gone like he did get a live lobster, and eventually he would get like treats every so often. Like especially towards the middle of his challenge, he got like maybe some protein every once in a while. But the rest of his micros were fucked.
Yeah.
Like he was eating nothing but rice. So that's just carbs on carbs. But yeah, he got like a live lobster before. He even got like a steak, which he roasted on a grill.
Oh fuck yeah, good for him.
He stabbed the steak with like a ballpoint pen to like roast it over the fire.
For real?
Dead ass. I don't know how he cooked the lobster, but there is footage of Nasubi eating lobster. Again, all this is taken account from articles that I've read, and also the documentary that I've also watched too. And other video essays.
I'm gonna watch it right after this.
It was a great documentary.
That's just wild, dog.
Yeah, you're gonna learn a lot. But yeah, he wasn't completely cut off from people, which is a good thing, but it still wasn't enough to like keep him satisfied with living. And there were moments in his life when he's doing this challenge where he did want to die.
Well, damn.
Yeah. Super isolated.
No one cared. Everyone's like, oh, look at this fucking guy.
I think what people really drawn to Nasubi was his attitude.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing from what I've read that in Japan, like one of the better characteristics of Japanese people was always like people who are brave and bold for what they put up with, you know? And Nasubi was one of those people who would like get up and be like, I don't want to fucking do this today. And then he'd get up in that grind set. It was like, all right, let's fucking do this today. Let's live.
Yeah. Damn, good for
I think
Nasubi.
that's what people really were drawn to Nasubi, was that endearing human spirit.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming what people saw beforehand, they saw like this crazy guy who just went up on his own will to do this challenge by himself and just started fucking grind set.
That's crazy as fuck, dude.
But that's not what happened, because Nasubi was hoodwinked completely. He had to do it to survive. And he wanted to be famous. Around June was when he reached his halfway mark. He reached up to 550,000 yen within that year, by submitting a total of 38,000 sweepstakes. So that's 38,000 postcards. I should also mention that how they give him the supplies was during the night when he was asleep. So like some crewmen would come during the night while Nasubi's asleep, open the door, press record on the camcorder again and hand him more supplies for writing.
Is the door locked? This is like an apartment, right?
Yeah.
Is the door locked?
No.
So he could just walk out whenever.
He could totally just walk out.
Oh my fucking God.
I have a couple of theories. One of them is that one like psychological effect that happens to you when you and I are in a line at Walmart and the line just going so long, but you have this feeling that if I go to the other line, it might take me just as long, or if not longer.
Yeah.
So Nasubi's kind of already in the waiting game at this point. Like he's already fully invested. There's no way he's going to stop now. But also, like there's something innately in him that was just completely afraid to leave the place he was at right now. One of the reasons was he's naked, so if he goes outside, he might be arrested. And we'll later find out that the producer will just straight up just coerce him into staying for longer. Everybody in Japan knew about him, and even internationally, people started to know about Nasubi. Later, he started getting like stalked through paparazzi.
After he got out?
No, he didn't. Well, we're not even there yet. We're not even there yet. Oh my God.
So that would be like outside the apartment.
They would be outside his apartment, yeah. Because people kind of already knew where Nasubi was, you know? But they didn't want Nasubi figuring out that he was a star.
Oh,
so
shit.
In the middle of the night, the producer and his crew, they snuck into his room and they turned on the lights to wake Nasubi up. And then that's when they told Nasubi Nasubi first asked, did I win? And the producer just, no. And then you can see like the dread, the heartbreak in Nasubi's face as this wacky, goofy music is playing in the background. Like this is some Black Mirror shit right here.
Yeah.
This guy.
Before we had the Black Mirror screens and
this
shit.
was Nasubi. This was the ground zero of it all.
That's disturbing.
But they move him out of that apartment. The excuse that the producer gave Nasubi was to change his luck, because I'm guessing he wasn't winning any prizes up to this point. So they moved Nasubi to another apartment. This time it's a little different. This time they have like a live feed camera that's broadcasting his every movement 24/7. They even managed to put his whole life up on the internet. So they were live streaming him before Twitch.
What the fuck? That shit is definitely like way before its time.
But, the real reason was to move Nasubi out of the public eye so that way no one figured out where he was.
Oh, shit. So whenever they took him, was he asleep when they moved him?
He was asleep, but then they woke him up. But yeah, starting in the new apartment, they didn't need to go back and forth into Nasubi's room to press record each night. Instead, they had like a crew behind the door. They had a crew on the next door of the apartment just watching Nasubi the entire time. Like a total of like 50 crew members were tasked to monitor Nasubi and censor his cock. They had a little joystick to move like this purple circle around every time Nasubi would move.
That's crazy.
And so that quickly like snubbed out the critics and the haters of Nasubi who thought that it was all staged.
Yeah.
People realized, okay, this guy is doing this for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, like 10 years before Twitch.
That's crazy. Because when did Twitch come out?
Like 2011 is when it went public.
That's wild, dude.
I did my research. But yeah, that live stream would also be fucking popular too, reaching like thousands of viewers every day.
Fuck.
Just tuning in on Nasubi. And this wasn't like the best like live stream ever. It was like,
well, it was the first
the frame
one.
was like, one to every 5 seconds of frames.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it's like,
yeah, it was like that. Yeah. But eventually his hygiene did get worse. Like his hair was getting unkept completely, and his fingernails, they grew up to be about like an inch long.
My God.
Yeah, he was looking like a golem for sure. And all this, he just didn't leave, unfortunately.
But he knew he could.
He knew he could, but he was terrified to leave because he didn't know what was going to happen to him.
And at this point, he knew he was a star.
He did not know.
All the reporters still didn't tell him.
No, he still didn't know he was part of this big old show that was being submitted every weekend for millions to see. I'm surprised I never heard of this story sooner.
Yeah,
this is a really big fucking thing.
Yeah, I think I've heard. I all these little details sound familiar.
You probably heard about it from somewhere.
I heard about it because I watch a lot of like top 10 whatever videos.
Yeah.
So it might have been very brief, but I don't remember anything else.
Yeah.
So now, yeah.
Surprised it doesn't get too much coverage, which is kind of upsetting because I would love to get like just more information on this. But and then he finally won like 2 rolls of toilet paper in November.
So he didn't, oh my God.
He didn't have toilet paper.
Was there a toilet?
Yeah.
How was he cleaning?
He didn't. Well, I mean, it's Japan, so he probably had like a bidet.
Oh, okay, nice.
So which is probably hopefully he had a bidet.
Shout out bidets. Shout out bidets.
He did seem really enthusiastic to having that toilet paper, so maybe not.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But no, then tragedy started happening during the months of August and September.
Did he know he was getting recorded though?
He knew he was being recorded, but he didn't know it was going to be broadcast later. Okay. That's what it was. I'm thinking he thought that like maybe, well, he's still like a new young creator. Like he didn't know how television worked still, and this was in the 90s, so not many people like they're going to put most of their trust in the producer. Because that's what Nasubi did. Nasubi knew who this producer was, Tosho. Tosho was a big producer that Nasubi respected and cared for. He saw him like almost like a god, almost. But yeah, fuck Tosho. But yeah, during the months of August and September, it was a dry spell almost. Like there were hardly no prizes. It stunk. Did I miss a page? I feel like I missed a page because there's a part where he does run out of his rice. Oh no, yeah, here it is. By the end of May, he did run out of rice. Sorry, I skipped a little paragraph.
Are they still giving him water?
Yeah, it's on the tap.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's not like he was dehydrated. He would have been dead a long time ago.
Okay.
But by the end of May, his bag of rice did run out, and then he had to resort to eating dog food.
Oh my God.
Yeah, wasn't happy with that. There's some things in here that don't really matter. Like this one right here. In September, there's like this clip of Nasubi on the beach. So I'm guessing they did like a beach episode. But this was not explained in the documentary at all. So there's a little something. Yeah, they did a beach episode one day. They took him out to a beach, and I guess he had a good time. And then they put him back in the apartment later. And then in October, they moved him again. This time, possibly to change his luck, because he was not grabbing anything during August and September. But after that big move, it seemed to turn around because he did start winning really big prizes, like a VHS player, 2 tapes of exercise and a cycling tape, one of which featured a woman on a program, which at this point, Nasubi hadn't seen a woman in 10 months. 10 months. Crazy. He finally also won a PlayStation. So with the TV he had and the PlayStation game that he won, he can actually finally do something besides submit prizes. So for 4 days straight, Nasubi is just grinding on this fucking train sim game like a real autist, you know? If you look at it this way, he is the first live stream Let's Player.
First influencer, kind of.
Pretty much, yeah. He was breaking strides throughout this entire contest.
Good for Nasubi.
Yeah. But then about later, like 4 days after he stopped playing the game, he banned himself from using the television just so he can get back to posting cards and winning his prize.
Hey, then bro, finally, I'm so sorry, bro. Let me throw some water on my face.
You tired?
Yeah, now I just need to throw some water on my face.
Yeah, go ahead and throw some water on your face.
So sorry, buddy.
You're kind of fucked. All right.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Say, why are you so sweaty?
Why are you so sweaty, Nathan?
I was watching Cops.
You heard it here, folks. All right. Yeah. So during the months of October and through December, he was winning big fucking prizes.
Yeah.
Then finally, on December, Nasubi reached his goal of 1 million yen 11 months and 1 day after the challenge began. He won the challenge by earning himself a bag of rice.
Another bag of rice?
Yeah. And also 4 tires. A set of car tires, which really helped him push that goal forward. So, late that night, Nasubi's woken up by the producer. The producer, he has like this this party popper that he flashes in Nasubi's face, pops in his face. This is after Nasubi hasn't seen people in like months. So he's rightfully just confused and terrified.
Mm.
He's already in the fetal position, naked and just starving. He's like, like he looks like a hunchback.
Yeah, he's all
he looks completely feral.
He's all messed up.
And he's confused the entire time because he doesn't know why the producer and the camera crew are in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes him a while because the producer isn't giving him like straight answers. He's like, what's the party popper for? And he flashes it again. And Nasubi's like, to celebrate? And he's like, what are we celebrating, Nasubi? I don't know. And then Nasubi kind of figures it out later. He's like, I've won? And he gets up from the floor and you can just see his rib cage completely. He has like the pillow, the only cushion he's earned, over his wiener just so it's blocking it. And he's like, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Then, you know, he wins the challenge. Like he earned 1 million yen.
And then?
They take him out. They take him out to have a good time. What they do is they blindfold him again. They take him to Korea, Seoul, the capital. And they take him to, what is it? I think it's called Seoul Land. It's like an amusement park.
Yeah.
They take Nasubi out. They blindfold him, taking him on, I think, a plane. Or maybe it was a boat. Doesn't really say. But they take him out, and he's having a good time in Korea. He's eating Korean barbecue, all on the producer's treat, right?
Mm-hmm.
They take him out to some market, and he picks out like a bowl of kimchi. Okay, not a bowl, but a big-ass pot of kimchi about this big.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like Nasubi's pot of kimchi. All the while, Nasubi is wearing his clothes again. But it's been so long he hasn't worn clothes, he kind of gets uncomfortable in them, and he's reported to being itchy in them.
Really?
Yeah, because he hasn't been without clothes in so long. And then they put him in a 3-piece suit for whatever reason. They give this man a 3-piece suit. Meanwhile, his hair is like all this, is really big, and his fingernails are long as fuck. And they're taking him on roller coasters and eating Korean barbecue.
Is this being broadcasted?
Yeah, it's being recorded. But he doesn't know it's being broadcast.
Yeah.
They just know it's recording. But yeah, take him to barbecue, take him a big old kimchi. And then he's blindfolded again.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's taken to another apartment.
Yeah.
And this time they tell him to strip once more.
Does he do it?
He does do it. But not without hesitation. Nasubi knew what was going on.
Yeah.
He knew he'd have to start the challenge all over again, this time in a foreign country.
And does he do it?
So he does do it, unfortunately.
Oh my God.
But he didn't want to do it for several hours. It took the producer like 3 hours to convince him to do this challenge. Meanwhile, you're in a different country. Nobody in this cast or crew is your friend. You're just by yourself with your one pot of kimchi in this sarcophagus of an apartment complex. And then right beside you is another stack of magazines. Nasubi was fighting this for 3 hours, but the producer, he just kept on pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until Nasubi just decided, fine, I'm guessing I'm not going to get out of here. I'm going to have to do a life in prizes in Korea. And so that's what he does. They strip him naked and he's just back from square one. There's nothing in his apartment besides the stuff he had from the first time and a bowl of kimchi. So he started completely fresh again. Like all of the stuff that he had won from Japan, they didn't transfer over.
That's crazy.
And what really fucking stunk about this whole thing, especially the one in Korea, was that he didn't speak Korean. He couldn't read Korean. All the magazines he was given was in Korean.
Oh my God.
But he was given a Korean to Japanese word dictionary.
Oh my fucking God.
So they made the challenge even harder.
So now he has to translate?
He has to translate.
This is terrible.
It's awful what they do to him, man. But, what was it? But the challenge was a lot more simple. The idea is you now have to earn a certain amount of money to make a plane ticket to go home.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah. He ended up making enough money to earn himself an economic flight back to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But the producer said, you know what? Let's upgrade it one more time. Let's have him go to business class next.
Oh my God.
Because he did this in like 3 months. Like, fuck. He did all this in 3 months already. What a fucking champion this guy is. He already knew the game, so he was just cranking out prizes left and right. And so they upgraded him to business class, and then he did that again too in a month. And so you wanna know what they did?
What?
Producer Toshi's like, nah, man, one more upgrade. so they capped him up again to first class ticket. And that was it. He won that challenge within 4 months.
Sick.
Yeah. And then they blindfolded him again.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
What happened was he's taken on a boat back to Japan.
Okay, nice.
He's going back to his home country now. They don't lead him to an apartment. They lead him on stage. A live stage. A live studio audience is watching Nasubi. He's clothed, but the watching Nasubi being carted off into this prefab apartment complex, this apartment that's in the middle of the stage. Everyone is completely silent because they don't want to they don't want Nasubi to know what's going on. They take his ass into that prefab apartment, and then they just put Nasubi in. You know, he's not even told what to do. Nasubi takes it upon himself to get to the strip without even being told. He was kind of already like, well, I know what this is going to be, so I might as well get naked right now. So Nasubi is completely naked, and everyone's watching him. Like, no one asked him to get naked. They're just watching him get naked on live audience. And then right after he sits down, the walls begin to break away. And then Nasubi just sees this sea of people right in front of him. And then one by one, they all just start just saying, "You did it, Nasubi. Congratulations. You fucking won a life of prizes, you fucking idiot."
Oh my, what does he do?
Dude, Nasubi was completely dumbfounded. He didn't know what was going on. He was so confused. Like, I imagine he must have been pretty overwhelmed.
That's intense.
Like, the walls break away from you. Like, reality just starts, like, stripping down. And then you just see the audience. Like, that's a poetic, like, imagery. It's like you start seeing your reality break away, and then now you're back to the real world where everyone was making fun of you.
And admiring you, too.
Yeah, no, they were rooting for him. Like, he was a goat, and people loved him. But they didn't know what was going on besides those eyes.
What did he do after that? Did he continue comedy?
Well, let me go on with this real quick.
Bunch of brand deals?
Well, let me go on with this. So, Nasubi didn't know what was going on. He was confused. Then finally someone because no one was answering his questions, you know? They were just asking him some really dumb shit like, "How was it like, Nasubi?" He was like, "Oh, what? And then finally someone told him, "You won. You finally won." And then you can see just a wave of emotion hit Nasubi. He's completely happy. Then
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Then right after that, there's this press circuit that's happening on stage. Like every news organization is there. The BBC's there too. They're just asking Nasubi all this while he's still naked on stage. Like he never got dressed after this.
He's probably just all comfortable, huh?
Yeah, he pretty much is. And then finally the episode ends. And then they carted him away with the blanket draped over him. And they take him to a hotel.
That reminds me of those experiments where they did like the prison experiment.
The Stanford prison experiment. This was like a legitimate prison experiment.
That's crazy. Could you imagine just doing all this ridiculous shit and like not knowing that a bunch of people are watching?
I would know now. Like if you put a camera in front of me.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like
back then, like that's a whole different vibe.
That shit's crazy. I would leave, I think. I truly think I would leave.
I think so too.
But
when everything is kind of like up in arms, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure.
I guess if that's all, like if you told me if you do this, your music career would be great, I would definitely do it.
He did get popular. He did get famous right after this. And he did make some money too, I hope. He did earn like, how much did he earn? I think he earned like maybe $25,000 worth of like prizes.
Yeah.
Just money, I guess. But he also, during his time he'd write down in a journal. And his journal got like the best time seller in Japan, like 4 times over. Because he's written like 5 volumes of journal entries. And I don't know what's in them, but I really want to because they're not like localized yet. But I hope they do because I would love to read those journals. And maybe do like a part 2 to this whole thing.
Yeah. Dude, I'd heard about that story a time or two where like they like take him back in the room. Like that's the part that really stuck out that I remembered.
Yeah, they got him again, dude. They fucked him again. He didn't want to do it. But when you're in a different country,
and is he not talking to his parents at this time?
No, he's not talking to anybody.
And his parents know that this is happening?
They do now, yeah. At this point, they probably did have an idea of what was happening to him because he was like the biggest thing to Japan since sliced bread.
Dude.
Because, I mean, put this into perspective.
That's wicked, man.
17 million views per week, each day on Sunday.
Like that's, a year and a half?
Yeah. Like that is more than Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, which are the highest shows.
And he said the producer of the show is still working?
Yeah, he still is. He's still a producer on television shows.
Is he still doing ridiculous shit?
So, sometime in 2008 and 2009, the Japanese government were kind of cracking down on shows like this. So now they're really not existent anymore, like these really high-end extreme shows. But back then, they were just free to do whatever they want.
That's stupid. That's crazy.
These very hardcore challenges. Like this one particularly, like the Life of Prizes was like the most famous one that Denpin Shonen ever showed. And afterwards they got done with that. They kind of had trouble coming up with new concepts. Eventually they stopped being a show in 2004. So 4 years later, after the show came out, it was just no more.
That makes sense. I mean, that you kind of catch lightning in a bottle with that.
Yeah.
Fuck, would you do it?
Man,
would you do it?
I don't fucking think so.
What if they were like, you'll get 1 million YouTube followers or subscribers?
No, I don't think I would. Because Nasubi wasn't right after this.
He wasn't right?
No, he wasn't right.
How was he not right?
Afterwards, he had a really difficult time readjusting back to social life. Like, he wasn't no more the fun, energetic, extroverted character he was when he was a comedian. Now he's very introverted and he kind of has a different outlook on humanity. Like he lost faith in humanity during that time.
Why? Because everybody was just rooting for him?
Like in his journal entries, he would constantly think about death and wanting to die. It took him a long time to really readjust back to life. Like even wearing like just clothes was a challenge for him because he'd be sweaty and itchy all the time. But eventually he did make it out. He did find his life back.
That's good. But
not so much as a comedian anymore because he couldn't really match up that expectation of being Nasubi. And for the months following, he was going on press circuits. He was going on talk shows. He was being in commercials. He was, the star of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like to think of Nasubi kind of like the Mr. Beast of Japan.
That would be that's a good way to.
But again, he was only like such. He was only active for so long. And
is he still alive, Nasubi?
Yes, he is still alive and still kicking. I want to talk a little bit about Nasubi, what happened to him afterwards.
Okay.
So I mentioned that Nasubi, he was born in Fukushima, which is his hometown. Mm-hmm. Well, do you know what happened back in 2011?
Oh, an atomic bomb.
What was an atomic bomb?
Just kidding. The tsunami.
Yeah, the tsunami happened, and then that the Fukushima power plant started going radioactive.
Yeah.
Like the whole town pretty much got fucked. And who do you think was helping the whole reconstruction of Fukushima?
Master Roshi.
Master fucking Nasubi.
That's good, dude. He's crazy.
That's cool. Nasubi. Like, I talk shit, but like Nasubi is a fucking G. Oh wait, you know what? Before we get to that, I kind of want to go into like some of the prizes that Nasubi won, because a lot of this isn't really covered. But I found some of the prizes that Nasubi's won. I just want you to hear this whole shebang. Some of the prizes he did won were 2 vacuums, 4 bags of rice, shoes, a watermelon, a cutlery set, ice cream, chocolates, soybeans, a bicycle, a television with no antenna, a globe, stuffed animals, toothpaste, a pickled eggplant, a poster of a Japanese actress, free tickets to the Spice Girls, a coupon for free English lessons. He won that twice. Headphones, a CD-ROM, videos, box of potato chips, duck meat, several unidentifiable variations of Japanese snacks, a belt, sexy ladies underwear, which he already put on, mushrooms, a tent, a case, a set of tires, and a photo book.
Those are so random. Like, my brain had no time to process any of those.
Some of the prizes that Nasubi didn't win: clothes, plates, soaps, books, a futon, sheets and blankets with pots and pans.
Like those basic things.
So I wouldn't be surprised if like
they were like rationing what
if if like he was already like supposed to get like maybe pants that he really wanted. Man, you're really sleepy, aren't you?
No.
Is this boring for you, Nathan?
No.
You high?
I'm just fucking exhausted, dude.
Why, you been sucking too much dick?
No, I'm hearing you, bro.
I'm kidding, I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm here with you, bro.
Let me get my leg back up here. But yeah, isn't that like it's very like suspicious that this producer is like, you know what? It's funny if he's naked. And I'm sure it was.
I don't know, dude. Honestly, though, bro, like I definitely can see like that guy, because sometimes we be doing some crazy shit. So imagine if you had like that budget. Imagine what you would feel compelled to do. Like, we come up with ridiculous ideas. Imagine if like if we could make them happen just like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scary part. You know?
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
I could totally see this being like a Mr. Beast challenge that just goes bad. Because he did a test kind of like this where he was isolated for like a week. And you can see Mr. Beast starting to break down as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
This was happening to Nasubi for 1.5 years. 15 months. He was alone for 15 months. Like, that fucked up your brain for completely. But Nasubi persevered.
How was his life after that?
Nasubi's life was kind of hard. He regressed not being a public figure, and I'm guessing he wanted that probably for a good reason, because him being famous over a tragic event was probably not good for his health. For most people, that is where your life would end. You know, is you do a life of prizes, and then you fade into obscurity, and then you have this trauma that exists in you. But Nasubi's not one of those people. Nasubi's a fucking king. During the Fukushima event that happened, the incident, the official title, the Fukushima nuclear incident, Nasubi, he would spend most of his days just cleaning up the rubble and cleaning up his hometown.
What a champion.
But he wanted to go an extra step further. he wanted to raise awareness for his hometown. Nasubi at this point still had connections with the producer who put him through this hell. Mm-hmm. And Nasubi always regarded him after this as sort of like a devil figure. Mm-hmm. But the producer, from what I've gathered, he's more like, he thinks himself as more like this benevolent god who is really happy with Nasubi and kind of sees him as like a kin of his sort. So Nasubi asked producer if he could help volunteer some charity donations for the cleanup in Fukushima. And you want to know what the producer said?
Yes.
He said, anything for you. So he got a little bit of money from that too. But he wanted to do more. Nasubi wanted to do just extra. That's what he is. He's an extra guy, and I love him for that. Sometime in 2013, he wanted to climb Mount Everest. He wanted to raise awareness for Fukushima, so he said, you know what, I'm going to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
After 3 failed attempts of climbing Mount Everest, he finally achieved it in 2016. Ever since then, he's just been doing just charity work.
That's really cool, man, that he was able to flip that terrible situation and put it back. But during this whole time he's doing all these things, raising awareness and being like an angel and shit, is he not right? Is he like acting weird during this whole time? Or
by the time when Fukushima happens, he's kind of gone over it because the challenge was a decade old at that point.
Okay, so he kind of got back to himself and shit.
He was very grateful with the support he got from his hometown Fukushima, so he wanted to extend like a helping hand.
That's crazy, dude. That's really cool for that he was able to do that, but that's a wicked tale, man. I don't even know where to begin to like process any of that. That shit is crazy as fuck.
After that, he's just been an advocate for charities and organizations helping people in need.
Man, good for Nasubi, the eggplant originator.
The eggplant fucker.
The eggplant originator. Shout out Nasubi.
You're fucking sleepy, dude. You're fucking Nasubi. Gassed.
Me? I'm sorry, bro.
It's all good, man.
I'm so fucking tired. No, dude, I'm really happy you took the time to like put that together and really spit that to me. Fuck, dude, that like I'd say that maybe the hard thing might be the best thing.
I like to think of it like sometimes there's a price to pay for certain things.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking to be famous, sometimes there's a price to pay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might be lucky and not have to do anything too hardcore, but sometimes something might happen to you and you got to push your luck.
How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it? Do you want to fuck up your brain for 11 months? Nasubi is still regarded as a celebrity in Japan.
Really?
And he does use like his influence to help garner attention for his hometown during the reconstruction, which is still being reconstructed in this moment.
To this day.
Yeah, because it was a big event.
That's crazy.
But he's been going all over the country, all over the world, just exploring and just doing good shit for good people.
I have to check his documentary out. It's on Netflix or what?
It's on Hulu.
You have Hulu?
Yeah, I got Hulu. I got Hulu just to watch it.
Shit.
This isn't a sponsor for Hulu. I wish it was. If Hulu wants to sponsor this, please do so. But yeah, that's 7 pages of Nasubi right there.
That's wild, bro.
It's just such like it's just like the first time I read about the story, like I actually started to tear up when he was forced to do the challenge again.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Korea.
He just ended up being a fucking goat.
I'm surprised you never watched The Truman Show.
Never.
Never?
Nah.
I was like, man, I was really hoping to hit Nate with that Truman Show bit I was gonna do. I was like, you ever seen The Truman Show? And then you're like, no. It's like, fuck, now I gotta explain The Truman Show and Nasubi. But yeah, spent 15 months not knowing he was being recorded. And then his whole life was just up for people to watch.
His whole life was just... Do you think he had a good life after that?
I think I think it still hurts. For sure.
Really?
What he went through. but also I think he found peace because now he's doing work, God's work elsewhere. He even used this time during COVID to kind of like teach people about like, hey, this is what I did back in 2001, so won't be so bad if it's only a few months. Then we find out later COVID happened for 4 years. So,
That's crazy as fuck, dude.
Anyway, guys, that was the Goon Hour. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully this all kind of made sense from hearing it from my mouth. I know I talked a lot of nonsense and I kind of jumped a few places, but hey, if you want to see the life of Nasubi, go on, watch the Contestant on Hulu.
Nah, dude, that was fucking good. Thank you so much, man.
I appreciate
for
that.
putting that together. I'll come up with one for next week.
Next episode, we'll be talking about Power Rangers, presented by Nathan, because he's a fucking nerd.
Or Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. But shout out, Goon Hour Podcast. It's Naekwon, young Igloo.
He's so fucking sleepy.
Out here. Working hard, homies.
Did my fucking story put you to sleep?
No, dude. The fucking factory, dude.
Nathan works in a factory now.
Or warehouse or whatever.
It's a factory.
I love you guys.
Bye, guys.